Wow, yeah. Climbing like a boss.
So just to continue on, you know
Great.
the current healing system that you guys have down. There's some items in the game that seem like they have placeholder actions, like antibiotics being you know,
Oh, I
a,
spotted him. He's
yeah.
using a flashlight. What a chump.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how I saw him.
Okay.
Little blink.
Um,
They seem like they're placeholder items in the game. Are there other systems that have yet to be implemented that those things are going to affect, and what can you tell us about those future systems?
so, first one is the infection. You will see infection becoming an issue as soon as we bring the code online, where getting bitten, attacked by zombies, depending on the severity of the attack and how often you're hit, and when the last time you used an antibiotic or one of our very rare vaccines, you will become more and more infected to the point where you'll die at 100%.
Very nice.
So that's the antibiotics. Right now I know they just heal health. That will change.
Okay.
Um,
So
as
that is
well
a
as,
placeholder.
yes.
Okay.
As well as being able to eat bandages to heal. That'll, or
To keep yourself alive from starvation.
right, exactly. I mean, they might be delicious, but they are not nutritious.
Yes, definitely. It depends on what they're made of, I guess. Band-aids made of Twizzlers or bubble tape.
Yeah, so in terms of existing items, food and water functions as intended. However, the values, I think, will probably be adjusted as part of our balancing.
Definitely. On another note, with the health items in the game, there are some items right now that obviously, whether they will in the future or not, you know, is up for grabs. I'll have to leave you guys to tell me that. But right now, that share, or at least partially share, an action in terms of, you know, bandages heal, painkillers heal, antibiotics heal, med kits heal. Will we ever see those in the future? The ones that have an action that overlaps, that they'll share a same global cooldown, as to keep people from keeping, like myself, bandages, painkillers, antibiotics all on my hotkeys and just spamming through them when I'm getting shot.
Yeah, because these will have their own associated animations. So when you're using bandages, you know, there's the 1 to however long to use the bandage. So whether or not that's going to heal slowly over time, like you use a bandage and it slowly brings your health back up, that we haven't decided yet. We have indicated that we want to have full animations for each item, even if it's sort of a generic animation. It's something that indicates, okay, I'm performing this action.
Right.
Okay, it looks like that guy left, but there's
Yeah,
another guy in the
he's
town.
heading on.
Yeah.
There's another guy down there in that town, though.
I didn't see if he had a weapon, though. Should we just push on, or
Yeah,
do you guys want
let's
to?
go on over here to this ranger station near the backside of the tunnel, which I'm glad you guys opened up. By the way, makes a nice little segue from one side of the map to the other.
Yeah, that was just a barrier for Alpha.
Very nice.
Early stages of Alpha, anyway.
So me and you actually had a chance to play together about a week ago, when we had about 16 people online in Clearview, and you were spamming frag grenades all over the place, and multicolored chem lights like a
Oh no,
nut.
my chem lights, yeah.
Yeah, your multicolored chem lights on the lake looked like a disco room.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was pretty funny. You know, during that, one of the things that somebody had asked you, and you had actually hinted on, was you know, the expansion of melee items and melee weapons, and you guys bringing new melee weapons to the game. Do you have, you know, a particular one melee weapon that is upcoming that you might want to tell us about, and if it's your favorite, and kind of drop a little leak hint there, if you can?
Well, let's see. I have a laundry list here of stuff that we've discussed. Let's see. Still around. Okay, now we got that. The metal baseball bat. I'm not sure if it's where it sits in the pipeline exactly, because we've got a lot of stuff to do with the map, so the art team's pretty busy. But Sergey's talked a few times about a metal bat that makes the ding noise when you hit people with it.
Oh
And I'd love
yes.
to see that.
Oh yeah. I think I was talking with the fellas, and when you guys did the Halloween helmets for for the Halloween event, and we all said, I hope that they continue to do, things for each holiday, because I could seriously see myself beating the crap out of someone with a giant candy cane or throwing yard gnomes at somebody for Christmas, just insane things like that. Or, and don't forget May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Lightsabers in the game would be nice. That at some point.
Lightsaber chem lights.
That's a great idea.
yeah, for May the 4th. You can't call them lightsabers. There's trademark issues there. But hey, laser swords. We could have laser swords for a day.
That's true.
One thing we talked about was we put together a list of different holiday ideas. What we could do for April Fools. There's just a lot of options there. But
there's tons.
My favorite was one of our designers. I think it was. Do you remember? I think it was Chris. Made a a Care Bear grenade.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
That was awesome.
That would be pretty funny. Oh man. So continuing, out of that melee weapon question and going to a little bit more focused on actual firearms in the game, with weapons in mind, obviously customizability is a big deal for you guys. The customization screen that you can bring up with F6 is very intuitive, very fast working. Have you guys given any thought to possibly having weapons that spawn randomly across the map with attachments already in place?
Yes. The issue that we need to resolve there is right now I believe there's a bug with attachments showing up in in the world model. So like if you put on a different ACOG, I don't think it shows up currently. So we need to get that fixed from code before we can implement another system like that. But otherwise I don't think there's any reason why we can't do it.
Okay.
But that goes hand in hand with the idea of being able to unload your weapons. Take the clip out of the gun and drop it.
Take individual ammo out and switch it from one weapon to another and things like that.
Yeah,
Right.
so you don't have to walk around carrying 10 Mossbergs.
10 Mossbergs, each with 2 rounds in them.
Right.
The other thing to keep going off of that same point, or to play off that same question, currently, right now, as it stands, attachments, even when they're equipped to your weapon, maintain an inventory spot in your backpack. Is that something that is as intended, or is that something that eventually they'll be on your weapon but not in your backpack, but they'll still contribute to the weight of your character when the weight system's finally in place?
Right now, that's as intended, but it is a constant issue of discussion on how we're supposed to be handling the backpack, or how we feel that backpack and your inventory space should be handled.
Right.
Because it isn't really in your backpack at that point, but it's all a matter of how do we want the player to prioritize what they find in the world. And like I said, we're constantly talking about that, trying to figure out the best way to tackle that, and hopefully we'll
Come
get
up
that
with a
sorted out.
solution.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost every one of these types of situations, there's a major proponent on each side of the discussion, and while sometimes it can be who yells louder, it usually kind of a stalemate until someone comes up with a more interesting compromise.
Right, and you were actually discussing that with the hunting thing the other day when we were playing together, about some people being very opposed to the hunting, the skinning, the things like that, and I guess that's where farming comes into play with the new servers that you're going to.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that they were opposed to it. It was just more an issue of, in terms of scope, do we have the time and do we want to spend the resources on that as opposed to something else?
To other things, right?
Yeah.
I mean, would you rather have animals running around taking up memory in the game world, or would you rather have wandering zombie hordes running around taking up memory in the game world?
I love me some zombie hordes.
Yes, zombie hordes.